we get a lot of options in life. We have to choose the correct option. Steve Jobs, at the age of 57, was a billionaire. It doesn't matter whether you wear a very expensive watch or not. It will show you the same time. Or you have a $2,000 car, you will reach to the same destination. First and the foremost thing, student has to identify their real purpose in life, why they are. Every failure is a lesson that you should learn out of it. When you're facing failure, it means something big is awaiting. Whatever situation you have been thrown into, you should always try to bounce back. That is very important in life. Each and every individual has some strength and weakness.
Hello, Namaskar, and welcome to this amazing podcast, which is known as My Career, My Choice. With me, Rishik, of course, and with the man, the writer, Mr. Abhishek Desarkar, who wrote the book My Career, My Choice, Amazon bestseller. Congratulations on that once again.
Thank you, Rishik.
So, how are you feeling today?
Absolutely fabulous.
So, we are kicking off with another new episode of this podcast. And as we always address to the challenges that students really face every day, we are going to talk about something again which will help students. So, I'll quote something that you always say, that destiny is not a matter of chance.
But a matter of choice.
Choice, exactly. And you use the word choice often. The name is there in your book as well, My Career, My Choice. So, what is the significance of the word choice in your life, if I may ask this?
To be very frank, Rishik, the significance of the word choice is very important, not only in my life, in life of each and every individual.
Right.
Because if we don't choose anything correctly, it will have an adverse effect in our life.
Okay.
Right. So the word choice or whatever you say in our daily life, right? Each and every time we encounter with a lot of option in front of us. Now, we have to choose the correct option. If you don't choose it, it will have an adverse effect either today or tomorrow.
Right. So, how is it significant? For example, if I'm a student, right? So, how is it significant from a student's perspective?
Say, for example, you see, if you're a student,
Right.
and you're a teenage student, right? So, as a teenage student, you get yourself indulged with many activities, right? Apart from education. So, your parents always try to push you towards education
And bring back on track as well.
and bring back on track. But you are diffused. Your mind is diffused. Deviated. And you want to concentrate on some other activity which is not actually good for your future career or future life perspective.
Right.
Say, for example, you want to party with your friends, right?
Right.
Say, for example, you are also a party animal, right? So you
Well,
always love to party.
Right.
Now, if you party and if you ignore your education, right? So this will have a consequence in your future career. Adverse effect in your future career.
Right.
So we get a lot of options in life. We have to choose the correct option, which not only affect our present, but can also
affect the future.
Right. So choice plays a very important role in every individual's life.
So I just want to pick up one thing from your point, that we have a lot of options nowadays, but it's not that we don't have healthy options every time. There are unhealthy options, but again, if we consider healthy options as well, you see there are people motivating students, like there are motivational speakers, influencers. So they tend to get confused a lot. Whom should I listen? What advice should I take up in my life? Because one person A is saying something else, person B is saying something else. So again, if we choose a healthy option, healthy choice, there are confusions. Again, Google is another, as you said, tends to confuse people a lot. So how can someone actually filter and get a proper channel to just go through it?
To give this answer, I just want to quote Steve Jobs. Now, Steve Jobs, at the age of 57, was a billionaire, right? He has achieved whatever is required to fulfill his ambition in life.
Right.
But then, at that point of time, he discovered that he is facing a pancreatic cancer.
Okay.
Okay. So while he was in the hospital bed, he have said something which I think all the youth, all the students should listen. The message is already there in the YouTube, so you should download and you should listen that particular message, right? So Steve Jobs says it doesn't matter whether you wear a very expensive watch or not, it will show you the same time.
Right.
Whether you have an expensive car or you have a $2,000 car, you will reach to the same destination.
Right.
Okay, because when he was lying in the hospital bed with plenty of money as his wealth, right, he was unable to utilize that.
Right.
So people always struggle to choose good or bad because they doesn't, because our only objective and purpose in life is to acquire luxury or something like that. We want to have something good. That's why we are running after money. Otherwise money is not required. You need a very moderate amount of money to sustain yourself.
Right. The basic needs.
The basic needs.
Right.
It's you don't need enough money, but we run after money because we want to
Luxury.
acquire all these things. And sometime you acquire it, sometime you don't.
Right.
You get yourself lost in the midway.
Some
Right.
people get
And at the
depressed as
end
well,
of the day, what happens? You are losing the most important part, which is called happiness. So when you try to move forward and achieve all the luxury, you are actually sacrificing the happiness, peace of mind. So as you said that nowadays the youth is getting confused because some of the influencer is saying that go and achieve it, be a next billionaire or millionaire. Yeah, anybody can be a millionaire, but is that is the only purpose of our to be on this earth, or there is another purpose, right? So first and the foremost thing, student has to identify their real purpose in life, why they are being
Here.
born as a human being.
Yeah.
What is the real purpose?
Yeah.
If they don't identify the real purpose, it's not going to
be fruitful, right?
be fruitful or give them any added advantage in life. Whatever wealth you acquire, you are not going to take it away
Yeah.
while you leave this earth, right? So my suggestion is try to find out happiness
In everything you do.
in everything that you do. That will make the differentiator, right? And that will give you a peace of mind, and you will have a life, and you can live this life with a certain purpose.
Purpose, yeah. Again, you just said that, sometimes people fail in their life and they tend to get depressed as well. There are many people, like especially students, who are really facing depression just because they are not happy with whatever they are doing. Or maybe they just failed to acquire something they always wanted to. So what is that one suggestion? You are an entrepreneur as well. You failed many times in life, but you always
And
came
not
up.
only me. You ask any person who have achieved success, how many times they have failed. I'm giving you one instance. J.K. Rowling is one of the
Yeah, true,
very
exactly.
famous writer.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, right? She has been refused by 12 times by a publishing house. So that's a failure for her.
But she
So-
never lost hope.
She never lost hope. So every failure is a lesson that you should learn out of it. Don't take failure personally. When you're facing failure, it means something big is awaiting.
Right.
But if you don't move forward, if you stop, you get depressed, right? It means that's the end of your journey.
Okay. And you define fear very well. I would love to.
Fear means false
No.
evidence
Yeah,
appearing real,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So there is no fear on in life. Right? Whatever is happening, it's a false evidence which is appearing real to you, and that's why it's fear psychology.
Yeah. And there is always an area, an option to come back. Always. right?
Always. Bounce back is a human right. Each and every human being should always bounce back.
Right.
Whatever situation you have been thrown into, you should always try to bounce back. That is very important in life,
Right.
right?
So again, you always talk about youth. The book My Career, My Choice is also catering to the youth as well. And I would love to share one thing with the audience as well, that you have a lovely team, right?
Yes.
And they're all around 24, 25, 23, 22, even 20 as well. So why do you spend on youth, on freshers, rather spending someone with a lot of experience? What is it one thing that is a differentiator?
See, to be very frank with you, Rishik, if I have to walk alone, I will never be able to reach my destination. Okay? This is only possible if I walk
With a team.
with team.
Right.
Right? Because each and every individual have some strength and weakness. It's not correct that I have all this strength on this earth, right? I do have some weakness. My weakness will be substituted by some of my team members, right? So teamwork is very important,
Yeah.
right?
And
You
why
have-
freshers?
Freshers means because they doesn't come with the baggage, you know. They doesn't come with the baggage. They're the fresh, right? So you can improvise your culture in them, right? And you ask any teammate in my organization, they will always say that they are very happy with the job that they do because I always try to empower them. See, a good quality of a leader, we say there are 4 E's which is important to be a good leader, right? One is a leader should have an energy, right? Second, a leader should know how to energize the team, right? Leader should also know the execution, how to execute the tasks,
execute,
right?
yeah.
And leader should know how to take an edge over than the nearest competitors.
Right.
So the 4 E's, this 4 E's is always there in me since my birth, right? Since my birth, because entrepreneurs are born. You have to understand the DNA of an entrepreneur.
By blood,
is
basically.
by blood, because my father was an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Okay, and I learned a lot of things from him, right?
Yeah.
So when I create my team, I try to empower them with these 4 E's, right? So that they are always active.
Yeah. And they can learn as well.
They can learn as well,
Right.
right? So this is very important in life.
Yeah. So yes, that pretty much concludes for today's episode. And as I just said in the last episode as well, we'll be asking you few, rapid fire questions just to, get to know you better as a person. So here are 5 rapid fire questions before we wrap up with this episode. So number 1 question will be sunrise or sunset.
Sunrise,
Okay. Just because you're a morning person.
Yes.
Okay. Digital books or physical books?
physical book,
Okay. Business attire or casual dress code in a normal
business
situation?
attire is always my favorite
Yeah.
choice, because I think as a businessman,
Yeah.
I'm always doing some business, right?
Yeah.
My mind, my body, my soul
Yep.
is always interchanging thoughts, right? And I'm always looking for opportunity,
Yeah.
So business attire means it's good for me,
Good
always.
for you.
Yeah.
And trust me, guys, when I say this person pulls off a suit really very well.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know the answer already, but I will still ask you: teamwork or independent work?
Teamwork, definitely.
Yes, and you just explained it really well in the last question. And finally, communication over call or a face-to-face conversation.
I prefer to have a face-to-face communication, because when you do face-to-face communication, you can understand the other person.
Right.
There cannot be any communication error, right? Because sometimes what happens when you communicate over the phone, you don't know the other person in what situation he or she is. So you might communicate something wrong,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that can have a very bad effect,
Negative impact.
negative effect in their relationship, right? So you have to always understand. So that is the way I always try to communicate with people. I try to understand the other person's situation before passing any comment from my side,
Right.
right? That is the best way.
So if to have communication, it is face to face. Yeah.
Yes.
So yes, that pretty much concludes for today's episode. We're going to see you guys really soon with another new episode. So yes, do follow us and keep watching My Career, My Choice podcast.
Thank you, Rishi. Wonderful.
Thank you
Thank
again.
you. Thank you. Thank you.